Hello everybody, Baron gives more stuff, and today I'm driving back for New Year's and it's raining. I still have to put in my directions to know where I'm going, but we're excited. We're excited. So yeah, I'm just gonna be driving home. It says it's going to be an hour and a half right now. It'll probably be a little longer because of the rain. But that's what's up. I'm heading home. I just was over hanging out with Basil and the other peeps, but at Basil's house, And so now I'm driving back because Cammie has work, and because of her work, she will not be able to make it here for the New Year's party. So, I'm going home to spend my New Year's with Camellia. And yeah, that's all that's up. So, I'm pretty much gonna jump straight into it. Jump straight into talking about the Japan trip is what I mean when I say that. Let me go. Whee! Okay. So, yeah, this week has been Dusty's been over a lot. So that's what I've been up to. I've just been hanging out with Dusty and Cammie. And it's been really great. I honestly I don't have that many winter breaks left in my life. Because my schooling days are coming closer to ending. I may have one more, but I'm not even sure. Because I may be doing practicum at the time that the next winter break comes around, which would mean 0 winter breaks for me. It would mean that I'm done. I'm all done. And I've been spending this one really well. I've seen Basil and Soren and Gabe at this pre-New Year's sleepover type deal. And I have hung out with Cammie a lot. I relaxed a lot. I have, the fun things that I've been doing haven't been a waste of time. And what I mean by that is a lot of times, there's certain shows and things that I want to eventually get through, and I don't often prioritize them during my breaks, because during my breaks, I'm just feeling I'm so tired, I just want to hang out and chill, So, a lot of times during my breaks, I don't actually make progress on the things that I want to be doing. So, I'll find myself watching a YouTube video that I don't care that much about. And then, 30 minutes or an hour passes, and I'm well, think about how that could have been, 2 episodes of this anime that I want to watch, or blah, blah, blah. But during this break, I have finished reading Yotsuba, and I have continued to read a lot of One Piece. And both of those are things that I actually want to get through, because there is an allure. There's a definite allure to being caught up with One Piece when they find the One Piece. I feel like that'll be such a fun thing to be able to go online for. You know what I'm saying? For all I know, I don't have an infinite amount of time. Things are coming to a close. This is the last arc. Although I don't think it's the last volume by any means. So I've read quite a bit. I'm on chapter 800 something now. So I've actually been doing well this break, and most importantly, I have spent so much time with Cammie and so much time with Dusty. And that really matters to me a lot. That matters to me a lot. I don't want to go out in front of this car. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. I thought they were closer than they were. So it ended up being totally fine. But it's just because the rain, I'm trying to drive a little safer too, Well, not, it's not that I'm not safe normally. It's getting out in front of that car, even if they were as close as I thought they were, would simply not have been risky, but I probably wouldn't have done it just because of the rain, even though there was no risk. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say they like try to brake and then they hydroplane, whatever, and like, you know, so that's all. That's what's up. Yeah, so I've just been having a really good time hanging out with Dusty. We played a lot of Pikmin. I played all of Pikmin 1 with her. We played Pikmin Squared, which is like a mod, blah, blah, blah. It adds multiplayer to Pikmin. And so we played all of Pikmin 1 multiplayer, and that like sped everything up, so we beat it in a day. And then we also played the other half of Pikmin Squared, which is Louie's Quest. And Louie's Quest is like a standalone game that's like a remix from Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2 stuff. And so, it was really fun. And I beat that game as well with Dusty. And so that was really fun. I had a really, really, really good time. And I'm very pleased with this break. I think I've done well. I think this is like maybe my best used break all time. Like, I've just had so much fun. I've played so much game. I've been gaming. And I like don't feel bad about the things that I've been doing for fun. You know, like when I'm done with the day, I'm not like, ugh, I like wasted my whole day. Even though it was like much needed rest, I could have had my much needed rest and eaten it too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel like now I should probably talk about my Japan trip, because I have a lot to talk about. So, the last thing I was saying was that we ate leftovers that night, at the end of the night that was the day. We like, on that day, had just gone and seen, we went to Ginza Loft, we went to, we went to Tokyo Station, bought some stuff, went to Ginza Loft, bought some stuff, and went to, Yellow Submarine, which is in Akihabara, and then left. We're at home, we eat our leftovers that night, gobble them up, and packed for the Shinkansen to Fuji. And we're not going like straight to the mountain. We're going to like this kind of middle of nowhere. It's like not a touristy town. We didn't really know where to go, but we went to a town where you could easily see Fuji, you know? And so, you know, the morning of, we get ready. We're having chocolate tofu sticks because those are the ones that we feel are the yummiest. The other ones, like, they don't make my tummy feel great. There's one that has like some edamame in it and like some other stuff, and there's one that is just like a straight tofu stick, and both of those don't like sit that well with my tummy. They kind of have the vibe of like baked tofu, if you know what I'm talking about, like when you get like pre-baked tofu, and I just like, I don't like them that much, and my tummy wasn't happy. So chocolate tofu sticks. And then we went to Tokyo Station, and we saw that there was a place that sold pastries with like white bean in them, and I was like, OM freaking G, because I love, like, at Fugetsudo, which is the mochi place near us in Little Tokyo in LA, my favorite one is the pink mochi, which is just like mochi with white bean in it. It's pink and delectable. And dude, I was so excited for these pastries. To be honest, it's been so long, I don't even remember them. Like, I feel like it was whatever. I feel like I wasn't like wowed by it, and I wasn't disappointed. I feel like I just ate it and it was good. Yeah, we got those pastries, and we got our Shinkansen tickets. We got them day of. We had really spent a lot of time trying to figure out, like, should we get the tickets like right before getting on the train, or should we like plan this out more and like get tickets that we're gonna like have to like buy online and then show them. And we decided we would just get it at the train station, because that's what seemed to be the most normal. And it's like, well, why go through the effort of buying it online when buying it at the station is so simple, right? And so we buy the tickets and make it onto the Shinkansen, and it is so crowded on the Shinkansen. Like, basically the way it like is structured kind of like an airplane, you know? So it's like seats on the right and the left, similar to how an airplane is, and then like on the back of seats are like tables that flop down, like tray tables, and you can use those for whatever you have, and you're allowed to like you can eat on the Shinkansen, like that's not a problem. So like that's what we were hoping, but we ended up just standing up at like in between two cars with like a ton of other people. And then Cammie was like waving me over, and she was like, come over here, like I found a seat. And I could tell from where I was that like a guy had just gotten up temporarily and was going to go back to his seat after grabbing someone. But he had no belongings sat on the chair or the area. So Cammie goes in and takes this guy's seat, and she doesn't know. And I am like, you know, I'm like sign communicating with this guy, like with my hands. But like that's what I would have done on a normal plane or train as well, because it's not like I'm gonna yell across the train like, do you want your seat back? You know, like it was normal to like be signing to this guy, which worked out because I'm not entirely sure that we spoke the same language. And he was like, no, it's totally fine, like you guys can have it. And I was like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah, you can have it. So I sat down and I was like, oh god. Also, Dusty wrote all my notes this time. We were, it was when, it was because like we just went to Little Tokyo with my mom. I guess I should just talk about this really quick before I continue. So we have our seat on the Shinkansen, and I eat my food. I eat my friggin' pastry and I eat my tofu sticks, hooray. I don't remember if Cammie ate all of her stuff. I feel like she didn't. And she like napped or something, but also, you know, it was just really cool being on a fast train. Like we were looking out the window and it was so sick. But that's what I have to say about the Shinkansen. So now I'm going to tell you, this week when I was hanging out with Dusty, we had like organized that, like Dusty had a dentist appointment, and I was like, okay, well that's actually perfect as long as you can eat after it, because we can go to Little Tokyo to get ramen. Because somehow, even though I go to Little Tokyo every time I see Dusty, and even more than that, like I go to Little Tokyo so much, I've never had ramen there. And there are 2 vegan ramen places like right in the smack dab freaking middle of it, like the easiest places to go to. We basically walk past them every single time. And like it's literally, it shares a wall with Fugetsudo, the mochi place that I've been to like 100 times. So like that's pretty nice. Hold on, I gotta merge onto the highway and it's kind of difficult. It's like not an easy entrance, but the person behind me is being nice. That's the one good thing about rain. It's like everybody's serious, you know? I mean driving while it's rainy. The one good thing about that. There are many other good things about rain. But yeah, so we were like, oh, let's go get ramen in Little Tokyo. It'll be me and Dusty have already driven down, and then Cammie also. I drove Cammie down, but she didn't come to Little Tokyo with us because she was working. So we left her at the Little Tokyo branch of the LA Public Library, which apparently exists. So much manga there, to be honest. So much manga there. And we left Cammie there and then just like went and did our Little Tokyo day. And then once dinner time came around, we pick up Cammie. She actually came and hung out with us for a little while before that, because she was done working. And then my mom drove down at dinner time, and we all had ramen together. My mom actually didn't get ramen. She got like a bao bun burger, and gyoza. And the gyoza was super whatever, but the ramen was all insane. Like, it was so good, man. It was so delicious, the ramen. So, on our way back from the ramen that night, as we're driving back, Cammie is looking through all the pictures from our Japan trip. Dusty is taking notes, and like I'm contributing and trying. Like Cammie and I are working together to remember everything. But Dusty has my phone, and then Dusty's phone is like the GPS. But because of that, all of my notes are by Dusty this time. So Oh, actually, I want to go left right now. I want to merge over because the black Prius is there, and they let me in last time, so I know they're like good-natured. That was easy. Such an easy merge because of this good-natured black Toyota Prius. Cool. Yeah, so now I'll go back to telling my story about Japan. I'll get through it eventually, guys. I'll get through it one day. So yeah, we were going to Fuji, and you know, we get there and it's so foggy. We're like, uh-oh, we're not going to be able to see it. So we find our hotel, and it's literally like right next to the train station. Like unbelievably right next to the train station. It's like, it's insane. And we left our stuff there in this room that was like boarded off by one, like, it was like a very thin white rope just from like one side of the doorway to the other. And I was like, okay, I mean, whatever. I hope nobody takes our stuff, but like people probably won't do that. And so we went to the Starbucks, because basically there was this park that we wanted to go to, because it's like, oh yeah, let's go to the park, and there's a Starbucks right next to it. So we took the bus, and the buses in this area, because it's not touristy at all, are so much more difficult for us to figure out. Like, we're really having to trust our Google Maps, and we're not using like much of the signage that was in like this area, because like we can't read the bus maps, and like we can't even tell which bus is which. So it was a little more difficult, but it wasn't bad. And we took the bus to Starbucks, and we were just trying to kill time before we checked into the hotel, basically, right? Because like you couldn't check in yet, but you could leave your bags there. And at Starbucks, they had like tons of vegan stuff, and we got all the desserts because there were a lot of them. There was a mango mousse, there was a lemon pound cake, and there was like a glazed like old-fashioned donut, and we got all of them. And I felt like they were all whatever, but it was insanely cool that they were all there, you know? And when we went in, I think the people there were like, whoa, like foreigner, like they're gonna spend big money, you know? Like, why is a foreigner here in this random place? So the manager immediately comes out, and she's like, oh my gosh, welcome in, like, oh my god, blah 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 blah, you know, like so excited. And she was like, dude, I feel so embarrassed. I keep saying and I sound like such an idiot, but I'm just focused on driving. You're gonna have to forgive me. I'm focused on driving, so I'm buying time by saying dumb things. You'll have to forgive me, Pegwins. And when I say Pegwins, I mean Cammy and Maya. I know no other Pegwins are listening to this on the reg, on the hashtag regular. But yeah. Also, I feel like I should say it was so hot. It was so freaking hot. It was like a brutal. But yeah, so we got the desserts. They were all fine. And then the manager, before we even bought them, was out and was like, oh, would you like, here you go, here are 2 free shots of espresso. And I was like, whoa, we're in a Starbucks. I feel like a Starbucks is more of like a, like, I'm surprised by Starbucks giving me a free sample like this of an espresso shot, because I would expect that from a place that's more like I yawned, like a cuter coffee shop, or like a personally owned one. But with a big chain like that, I feel like they're not typically catering to you in the same way. It's just like you go there and you expect the same consistent good experience. And so like we were just surprised. We were taken aback. And we Cammy got a coffee of some sort, I think. I don't really remember what she got. I think she got a coffee. And then there were the mugs. Because, you know, they have like, Starbucks has like the mugs for different places. Like there's one for every state. And Cammy's dad likes those. So Cammy was gonna get one for her dad. And the manager was like, oh, but what about this? And is like pointing to like this cool blue Mount Fuji mug and then another one that says Fuji. And Cammy's like, oh, haha, like, thank you, I see, like, yeah. And then just like bought the Japan one because that's the one that her dad wants, because like her dad isn't looking for like a cool new mug as much as he is just like the next one in the collection, you know? And the Japan one fits in the like US 50 states and other territories collection. So, you know, that's like whatever. We got it. We got the coffee, and then we went to the park and we walked around it, and it was a really nice park. It was super beautiful. There was like a river area where like you walked across some stones. Super, super beautiful. So hot while we were there. So hot. And we just simply could not see Fuji at all the whole time. And I felt really bad because that was the one thing that Cammy had really added to the itinerary. You know? Like, Cammy definitely was enjoying everything that I had, right? Like, she really, really liked going to all the Chiikawa places, and she super enjoyed going to like the board game store and stuff, and the Pokemon Center was cool, but really like all of that was my stuff. Even though Cammy enjoyed it, it was like my stuff. And then Cammy's stuff was like, you know, I don't want to really count Ginza Loft because that felt like it was shopping for other people. Maybe this is just my stupid perception. Cammy actually like really wanted to go to Ginza Loft, but like it seemed like it was shopping for other people mainly. So the two things she added were going to Uji for matcha, which we'll get to, and going to Uji for matcha and going to see Mount Fuji. Like, those were the two things. And we can't see Mount Fuji. So I felt pretty bad. We could see like the very base of Mount Fuji, and that was it. So that was very unfortunate. But yeah, we went back to the hotel and we had dresses, which was basically just like they had really long like sleeping robes, and so they fit us like dresses, and it was really fun. Cammy was like, let's put on our dresses and dance about, and so I did. It was very fun. And well, actually, I don't think we put them on until the nighttime, because I don't think I would have wanted to change and then shower and whatever when we were going out again. But we needed to eat later, so we go out to like we go out to eat, and the only place we really know to go to is Koko Ichibanya. Which is, you know, the curry place that we went to. The curry place that is so freaking awesome, and that I was excited to come back to America to eat at. And I have found out since then that in America, none of their curry is vegan. It is vegan in Japan, and it's not vegan in America. They put milk in every single base, which is just such a devastating reality for me, you know? Because I love Japanese curry. So no Koko Ichibanya is a bit of a travesty. But Cammy and I have honestly gotten really good at making Japanese curry from the golden curry boxes. We've gotten quite good at it. So it's not like it's not as depressing as one might think. Although it is not certainly a good thing. So, oh, also it's the one with the cat charms, and there were no cat charms. So like we found out that you have to order the special, like if you order on the special chunk of the menu, because you do it all on a tablet. And so when you order on the tablet, there's like a specials section, and in the specials section you can order like family meal where you also get a kitty cat charm, and they had none, so that was unfortunate, but whatever. It would have been so fun. Like that would have been the best gacha to come home from Japan with, was like, you know, like we went to this curry chain and it was like super fun, and it's like technically in the US, but like they have these cat charms for the version in Japan, and so, you know, it's like it's cute because it was Koko Ichiban Nya, like NYA, like cat sound. So I probably have already explained all this, but it just was so fun and I really liked them. So it was fun to talk about going to Koko Ichiban Nya. Afterwards though, we, you know, take the bus back home. We were kind of worried. We were like, oh God, are we going to make it? Like, are we going to make it before the last bus? And then it wasn't even close. Like, we were fine. And one of the funny things about our hotel room was that the bathroom was really high up. So, like, you know, you go into the hotel room, it just looks like a normal hotel room. There's, like, a desk in the corner, as there always freaking is. There are the beds. And then the bathroom was, like... Oh, goodness, hold on, I'm yawning. The bathroom was, like, a big step up. Like, you open the door, and the bottom of the door is, like, at the top of my shins. You know what I'm saying? Like, so weird. But our whole bathroom was up like that, and also, it was, like, impossible to keep all the water in the shower. Like, it just had to leak onto the countertop right next to it. It was impossible not to get it up there. So, just, like, a weird bathroom. Just a weird bathroom, you know? It wasn't like a problem, but it was just like, you know, worth mentioning, because I want to remember a lot about my trip. So I'm saying it here. I can look back in like however long. So that was fun. Cami probably let me shower first again. She was awesome. The next note Dusty has written is just making fun of me. So it's gonna be a second, but I will find something else. It's just talking about blowhogs. We've been using blowhog as an insult after playing Pikmin so much, because like blowhog is such a funny name for an enemy, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean blowhog? They're like these ugly little enemies that shoot out, well, the fiery blowhog shoots out fire, and then there's like a water version of him. I don't know what the water one's called. I don't know if it's like watery or what, you know, but yeah. So the next morning we get up, we go to Family Mart, and Family Mart was a really fun experience because we were like, okay, let's try to find the one thing that Cami wanted, because some Family Marts apparently have a vegan chicken wrap, and so they didn't have that, but that just means that we're back on like bland tofu sticks, because different convenience stores have different vegan ones. The problem is that a lot of the like sugars and other stuff is like derived from animals, and you just don't know. Like, it's not listed, so you have to like find an external resource that tells you. We found like this post by I think their tag was Itadaki Healthy, to be honest. And they had like a post that was like, these are the vegan ones, these are the not vegan ones for onigiri and tofu sticks. And so we figured out what we could eat. We basically just got tofu sticks galore, because Family Mart does not have the chocolate one that's delicious. And then we got to see all these children going to school. And the children going to school was like such a fun experience. The children going to school was so fun because it's like just these, like, a bunch of little kids with their cute homogeneous backpacks. Like, you know, the quintessential, like, Japanese elementary school backpack that, like, you use through middle school or whatever. It's, like, so cute. It's like that, you know. And we just saw a bunch of little kids walking with, like, old friendly cross guards who were everywhere and whatnot. And, like, some people were with their moms. Or some kids were with their moms, I should say. And it was just so freaking cute seeing all these, like, backpacks and stuff. So we go to the nearest bus stop to get back to our hotel. And the nearest bus stop was, like, not really a bus stop. Like, it was a sign, so, like, a bus was going to show up there, but there was no, like, bench or anything, and there wasn't a sidewalk either. So we're just stopped, like, on the road in front of this place where there's, like, a woman in a suit. And there's a sign on the front that, like, explains what the business is, and we can't really tell, but it has, like, a woman on the sign. And so I'm like, oh, this must be, like, a, like, landlord. Like, maybe they're, like, getting ready for, like, an open house showcase or something, and they're, like, gonna, like, take people, like, they're gonna meet here and they're gonna take people to, like, a property that they could check out or something. And so, you know, we were like, man, what is this? But Cammie figures out that it is, in fact, not, it is not that. It is not what we thought. It is actually, sorry, I have to get over 1 second. It's actually, oh my gosh, you're hanging on that cliff, huh? It's actually a funeral home, and this woman is preparing for, like, a funeral. So that was a little unfortunate. Dang, I'm really trying to remember if this is where this happened, because we didn't talk about it when we were writing these notes, but I'm pretty sure this is when this happened. If I'm wrong, I'll add a correction later. But we go to the train station, and shoot, I don't remember if this is where this was. Okay, well, whatever. Cammie was saying that this is, like, from the train station we were at, you could immediately take the Shinkansen. Like, the Shinkansen connected the place we were at to Kyoto. And I think that's right. But what I'm trying to remember is if this is where we saw people doing their morning exercises. So I think it is. I think this is where it was. So I'm going to tell this story. But because we were there so early, there were some construction men working on, like, a house, right? And as we're getting ready to leave, it's around the time that the workday starts. Like, it's like almost 8 a.m. or something. And this is, like, a big juicy day, by the way. This is, like, the biggest freaking day of our trip. This is, like, the most exhausting day. My favorite day of the trip. I'm pretty sure that this happened on this day. I'm not 100% though. We see these construction people, and they're all just kind of standing around, and I'm like, what? Like, what is happening? Like, they're all just kind of there, but, like, it's, like, clear that they're not, like, working yet. And so then we hear that they have the radio exercises on, and they're doing their, like, stretches, like, their radio stretches that are, like, homogenous, you know? Like, every construction worker in, like, the region is listening to the same radio show and doing their morning stretches before they get to work on the house, you know? And so it was so awesome to get to see that. It was just really fun, Because that's like not at all something that would happen in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Like, construction work is not like, it's not like a joyous, jovial time, but that is definitely a joyous, jovial experience. That's definitely a joyous, jovial experience. So I think that was when that was. I will add a correction if it's not where it was. But, you know, that's all. Hey guys, so I was wrong. It's not. It's not.
We didn't see them do their stretches.
That was later.
It was later, and here's why I'm pretty confident about this. Is because Jack's reasoning was that we had to leave early from Fuji, and it was relatively rural. But we had to leave early to get to the airport too, which is when I think we saw this. And my reasoning for this is that from Fuji, we left from this station that I can really clearly picture in my brain. That
I can't picture it at all is the problem.
Doesn't have like where I'm seeing these people. And also the Shinkansen goes directly to it. So we took the Shinkansen to Kyoto,
so you're saying it's
to our hotel.
So you're saying it's like a train station to go to Kyoto Station?
I'm saying that I think we saw it when we were either leaving Kyoto or maybe when we were going to Toyosato, but I don't think so. I think it was when we were leaving Kyoto to get to the airport. If it was leaving
Kyoto, wouldn't it have been from Kyoto Station?
No.
Kyoto Station.
Bus, Kyoto Station, Shinkansen, but then we had to take another.
That wouldn't have been in the morning anymore. It's
true, but I can picture the. You know what it might have been is because it was a station. It was a train station, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't the one in Tokyo, and it wasn't the one in Fuji. Is the issue, and so it must have been Kyoto.
It must have been on the way to Toyosato.
That's what I think.
But it can't be because we didn't do it then. I think I'm right.
I don't think so. Because I also think I felt a little bit sick while we watched these people do their stretches. And I can picture the station. I can picture Fuji Station. Remember we had to go up those steps and then we were kind of in a secluded platform area. And when we saw them doing the stretches, we were waiting for like a more local train.
Exactly, we were waiting for a more local train. But it was Fuji, the Shinkansen?
It was the Shinkansen.
So that's why I was so confused before.
Yeah.
So when would we have had a local train? Because when we were in Kyoto, the only times we took a local train were after we took a bus. Like we would have to take a bus to take a train. If it was from Kyoto to the Narita airport, then we would have gone bus to Kyoto Station, which definitely isn't right. And the only other one that would be that early in the morning
was leaving Fuji. It wasn't in Tokyo because it was rural, right?
It could have been Tokyo.
It could have been. I mean, because we were in Tokyo.
Dude, what if the whole stupid joke of this is that at the end of all this, I find out that I already told this story like 5 Pegcasts ago. So we have no idea when this happened. I guess
we'll see.
We have no idea when it happened.
I'm very confident it wasn't
Fuji. It must have been in Tokyo.
And another reason why I'm very confident is because we didn't leave Fuji right early in the morning. We got up and we went and got breakfast and then we took the bus back and we packed up and then we left. Exactly. So it wasn't like early in the morning. And
it was because when we got up super early and then we left at like 8.
7. We saw kids walking to school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people don't start their workday till like 8.
We left at 9.
Oh, we left at 9.
Yes.
We were up at 8. We were up at 7 or whatever.
Yes.
We were up at 8 and went out at 9.
And left at 9.
Yeah,
we were up at 7.
Okay, so this probably happened in Tokyo.
I think so.
Bye.
Bye.
So we are taking the Shinkansen from where we are, where we're visiting Fuji, all the way to Kyoto. And it wasn't nearly as difficult this time. We were able to sit. It was good. And so we finally get to Kyoto, because the Shinkansen is so freaking fast, man. It's so awesome being able to take that train. But we get to Kyoto Station, and it's big, and it's pretty, and it's cool, and there's a lot of cool stuff there. But we just kind of march through and walk out the front. There are like some cool statues, and then there's like a huge, like, I don't know what you would call it. It's like not a parking lot, but I guess you would call it that. It's like a bus depot, you know? So like you have to go stand where you're supposed to stand, and then different buses will come to the different like stations and take you to different places. And so, sorry guys, I was yawning. So we get on the bus we're supposed to go to. We get to our hotel, and we leave our stuff there at the hotel from the bus. This hotel is right next to a castle. It's like a huge freaking castle. It was so cool. And so Cami and I, it's like unbelievably hot. It's like painfully hot this day. And we're trying to decide what we want to do, because we know that we have 2 days for Kyoto, right? And in those 2 days, we want to go to Toyosato, which is where like the Keion school is, which was the original motivating factor for the whole trip. Like originally we were like, let's go to Japan to see Toyosato. Like we had said this. And the other thing we have to do absolutely is go to Uji, right? And on the day we go to Uji, which is where the matcha is, we also should probably hit the Nintendo store. That's where we were at, right? And so we're like, well, what are we gonna do? Like, it's like this time of day, maybe we'll go to the castle because it's right here. You know? We go to the castle, check it out, and we're like, oh, you gotta pay to go in. So let's not do that. And then so we're just kind of walking, and we decide that actually we do have to go. We should go to Uji today. That's what we should do, because Toyosato is going to be a bigger deal. And we want to make sure that we don't have to be rushed, and we don't have to worry about catching the train back from Toyosato. So, and that's because Toyosato is like in the middle of nowhere. It's like a tiny little town. It's not like a huge tourist place, nor is it like just a very populous area. So it's not like connected with the same like modernized trains as many of the other places are. So we decide that we want to go to Uji on this day. That means that, you know, Cami wants to get a matcha from this place that she's heard about. And so we have to get our matcha from, like, to drink from this place before we go to Uji. And if we want to go to Uji, we're going to need a good amount of time once we're there to, sorry, I'm yawning. Once we're at Uji, we're going to need a good amount of time to, like, go get all the matcha stuff. And we're going to need time because I realized, like, the day before that Uji is where Kyoto Animation is based. Like, they're in Uji. And also, it's where Sound Euphonium takes place. Which means that, like, my favorite anime studio that, like, has basically provoked this trip out of us because of their creation of K-On! And some other shows, has their base of operations there. I don't necessarily, like, that doesn't mean anything to me. Like, we're not going to go to their studio, but Sound Euphonium, Hibike Euphonium, is like one of my favorite shows ever. Like, I would call it my second favorite show. And so the fact that it takes place in this city means I'm gonna want to go look around this place to, like, find cool areas, you know? And I was kind of looking stuff up like that on the Shinkansen. So we go to this place that Cammy knew about to get matcha. And when we get there, we get off the bus, we find out that this is like an insane tourist locale. And everyone is Chinese. Again, this is not like, it's not a problem. I just didn't expect everyone to be Chinese. There were like way more Chinese people than Japanese people, like from this point on for the rest of our trip. We like didn't go anywhere where the majority of people were Japanese. And I was like, dude, like what is happening? Is this like a crazy, like, is there like an insane Chinese holiday? I was like, is there an equivalent of Golden Week in China? Because like, this is insane. Like everyone here is Chinese. And yeah, so we're at like this huge tourist trap and it's on like a very, very steep incline of a road. And there were tons of cool stuff. There were tons of cool things. As we're going up, we like stop in a place where we bought chopsticks. Cammy bought some short ones and I bought like longer cooking chopsticks type chopsticks. And I was like, wow, this is so awesome. I'm so happy we have these. Like, what a fun thing to bring home, you know? And then we did a lot of our like gift shopping here. So Cammy was looking really hard to find something for her mom, but didn't really succeed. There wasn't anything she really would have wanted. Cammy got a hairpin, which I'm so excited for. Her hair is still not really long enough because she had cut it short. But her hair is still not really long enough for her to use it. I'm so freaking excited for when she can use it. It is the cutest little thing. But yeah, we got magnets that were like cute dishes with like things written in them, you know? It's like to ward off spirits and whatever. I got one for my grandparents and Cammy got one for her and her roommates because they were still living together at the time. I got a small red Yoshi figure because Japan, or like my dad and I connect really closely over Melee. And so the one Japanese Melee guy is Amsa, who plays Yoshi. He plays Red Yoshi. So I gave my dad a Red Yoshi, and this was like not a good gift, but there was just nothing he would have wanted, to be honest. Like, there was nothing he would have been super interested in. Also, at this point in the trip, I've eaten like no Oreos. I brought so many Oreos because I really thought I was going to need them, because everyone tells you that all the portion sizes are tiny in Japan. Like, you guys have heard this too, right? Where it's like, oh, all the portion sizes are so small in Japan, so, you know, I'm like a big American, I freaking eat all the food. Dude, I like did not feel that way. Like, you know, we go to Koko Ichibanya, we get the normal size, and it's like a full meal, and I'm like, okay, good, awesome, we're done. You know? Like, whenever we got Teas Tantan, the ramen, I guess it's vegan, so you could say, oh, maybe it's like American sized because it's vegan. But like, I don't know, I ate it and it was like a normal freaking size ramen. And like, I had to finish mine and finish Cammy's, and by the end, I'm feeling like I'm gonna give birth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm big full. So, yeah, we, what am I saying? Oh, yeah, and then, so we go up and we get matcha. Oh, actually, one more thing is there was a Totoro store. There's like a cute Totoro shop. The vibes were insanely good. There was also a Sumiko Garashi store, and Cammy wanted to go in there because this is where she found out that Sumiko Garashi existed, and she was like, oh, he is my friend! So now Sumiko Garashi, the like blue guy, I don't even know what his name is, but that's Cammy's friend now. That's Cammy's friend, and she loves him very much. And it's like the freaking sweetest, cutest thing ever. Guys, to be honest, the traffic has been so bad right now. And like, I've just been doing so much driving recently back and forth for Dusty. Like, my butt is like not happy. My legs are feeling it. They're like really, really unhappy with me right now. And I said it was an hour-and-a-half drive, but I think I've been driving for 45 minutes, and it now says an hour and 15 minutes are left. So, my legs are really, really not gonna have this. They're gonna be so unhappy. I'm gonna get back like probably around when Gammy is off work though, so that's good news. But yeah, so those were really cool. We didn't get anything at the Sumikogarashi place or the Totoro place, but they were like really cool to go into, especially the Totoro one. The vibes were really awesome. It was like wooded and like there were like tree stumps and stuff on the inside. It was like really cute. And so we went to the matcha place and we find out that this is not like Cami somehow found out about the most touristy matcha place in the whole wide world. Okay? I guess not literally, because, you know, in Tokyo, which I described this like I don't know how many episodes ago, we went to a place that had like red theming of some sort where like the workers spoke English as their primary language. So like that one was probably a little more touristy, to be honest. But I think something that makes it more difficult is that we're vegan. And so Cami, when she is looking at matcha places, she has to be like, okay, do they have plant-based milks? And when she looks up like plant-based milk, like oat milk matcha in freaking Kyoto, she's gonna get things that other vegan white people are writing about, you know? And so this ended up being like the most unbelievable touristy place ever. We like get up to basically the top of this like little hill. It was super steep. And we go in, the line is insane. It is such a long line. I mean, we're happy just to be in there because it's so hot outside, but the line was literally insane. And like, you know, you get matcha there and they make it in front of you. I got a matcha, or sorry, Cami got a matcha and I got a hojicha. I decided to get it because I knew it would make Cami really happy, and I was like, you know what, I'll try it out, and like we'll both have a drink, and this way you can have both. And then you'll know if you like all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, what if I love hojicha? You'll find out right before we go to Uji where you can buy some. You know what I'm saying? Like before we buy the like high quality matcha for you, it's like juicy, you know? And so that we got our matcha and hojicha, and what was so funny is like they make it in front of you with like, you know, they have their like electric kettle at the right temperature, they have their little like matcha whisk, they like do it really nicely, and they would, I'm sure, only hire people that are freaking beautiful or whatever, you know, because like it seems like half of their business is like a zoo. Like everyone that got a matcha, no one is being even remotely respectful, which was so weird after being in Japan for this long, where everyone is so respectful. Like no one gets in anyone's way, you know what I'm saying? But in this place, literally everyone has their cameras like up in these people's faces while they're making the matcha. Like, it was like a zoo, unironically. It was unbelievable. Like, just truly weird. Truly weird. Sorry. So, it was just so strange, but it was like fun, it was good. I really enjoyed my hojicha, to be honest. I think I like it more than matcha, but I'm just not a tea person, really. I don't have that much tea. That being said, I kind of want to have tea when I get home because it's rainy. And because I want like a very mild amount of caffeine. And because I have a bunch of green tea. So, I might try some. So on our way back down this hill, because that's where the train station is. No, sorry, not the train station, the bus stop. On our way back down, we pass by again, but this time we really are like looking at it and deciding if we're gonna do it. There is like this super touristy matcha place. Sorry, matcha mochi place. Because matcha is like a big deal in Kyoto because of Uji. So it's like these two super buff shirtless dudes who are the main draw of this place, to be clear. And they are pounding the mochi in front of everyone. And then there's a lady who is like at the sales, you know, like she sells it. And so Cammie got one and I got one. And like, I was like, Cammie, are you getting one? Like, I'm not sure. Like, are you actually doing it? And she was like, yeah, I think I will. You know what? Like, it looks really good. It's like matcha mochi. It's like, you know, it's a little embarrassing that we're like buying it from like this touristy place. And it's like so obviously like, oh yes, come in here. And they'll, you know, but like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I was like, okay. And then she was really surprised when I got one too. So it was like kind of funny. We like both did it. But it was like cheap. It was a good deal. And it was so freaking good because it was just like, you know, the strawberry on top, because it was like a matcha mochi with a strawberry on top. And it was like the most beautiful strawberry, you know? And the matcha mochi was so good. It was such an awesome piece of mochi. That being said, not better than Fuketsudo. Fuketsudo is like as good as it gets, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like pretty much on par, but I wouldn't say it's better. Because like, I think, you know, as much as I'm like, oh, matcha Japan, like, mochi Japan, there's like a level at which it's like, you know, I live next to like such a like great little Tokyo with like actual really good like authentic foods. Like the mochi at Fuketsudo is legit. They make it like the way that it used to be made, where it's like not even typically made that way in Japan anymore. So that's pretty cool, you know? And so I'm very thankful. But it was delicious. We go down and we're waiting for the bus. So we're like, well, what are we gonna do? We go into the 7-Eleven and get, you know, presumably our lunch. I think our lunch was like more tofu sticks. I think we just got tofu sticks, pineapple. Yeah, it was tofu sticks because we had tofu sticks for breakfast and then we had tofu sticks for lunch. Like one tofu stick. So we're like running on fumes, you know what I'm saying? We get our tofu stick, we get some pineapple. Pineapple comma Japan is real. Dude, the pineapple at the 7-Eleven is to die for. I still think about it all the time. Because I love pineapple and I'd like never have good pineapple. So just having really good pineapple consistently whenever I wanted was like a miracle. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god, I love pineapple. I want pineapple so bad right now. And I decided I wanted to get a popsicle because there was one vegan popsicle that was like a big icy rectangle basically, and it was like, oh, this is the icy one. And I was like, man, I want to try that so freaking bad. And I did. I had it and it was delicious. It was just exactly what I wanted. And I finished it, and then the bus shows up and like everything works out. You know, we get on the bus. The bus takes us to the train. The train takes us to Uji. I am so freaking excited because the train we get on is the train from the freaking show Sound Euphonium. There's so much Sound Euphonium stuff happening during this trip. You know? There's so much Sound Euphonium stuff today. Like this train is super cool. We get off, we're in Uji, and the station has like a bunch of the characters plastered on the wall and stuff because it's like, oh, this is the place where it's from, you know? And just like walking through the train station is pretty cool. Like, you know, like you look at pictures from the show and it's like, oh my god, like I'm walking through the train station right now that like Kumiko and Reina had to take this train to get into town to go to school. Or to go home or something. I don't know. But the point is, like, this is a station that existed in the show. And we get out of the station and there's like a visitor center pretty immediately. So we went into the visitor center first and like looked at some stuff, and I was like, well, is there anything you want to do? Because there's actual stuff to do. Like, we'd go to XYZ place, and Cammie's like, no, I think I want to just like go to places and buy matcha. Cammie was freaking right. Cammie was a genius for this. Our day was 1,000 times better, and our entire Japan trip was better for it, in my opinion. Also, I have like, a bunch of stuff in my drawstring I don't have a bunch of stuff right now, but like I have my umbrella with me and I have my drawstring with like, like it'll carry my hat and my UV jacket that I've been wearing, so I don't have to have sunscreen on. But I'm wearing the jacket for a lot of this, and I'm wearing my hat for a lot of this, and I'm carrying my umbrella everywhere. I've been carrying my umbrella literally everywhere we go, because you can't leave it unattended, really. And again, we didn't check in yet, so if you leave your umbrella in the front, it will be stolen. Like, it just will. This is the reality of Japan, is what we were told. So I'm carrying my cutie Chikawa umbrella everywhere we go. Cami also packed an umbrella because it said it might rain this day. But in order to get into like the main city of Uji, like the main area, we cross a bridge, and this bridge is like from such a big crazy moment in the show. Like, there's just like a scene that I think about all the time that happens on this bridge. And so I'm like so excited, like my tummy is hurting. I'm like blah blah going across this bridge. I'm like so excited. Cami takes some pictures of me on the bridge. So fun. Literally so fun. And then, now, well, I guess we get across the bridge and we go into like this little store to look for an umbrella for, or I don't remember if it was an umbrella or if it was like sun hat or what, but I think it was like an umbrella, like a sun parasol, because Cami really didn't like wearing things to protect her skin. So I was like, a sun parasol would be way better than having to wear like a jacket like I'm wearing, because Cami had like a UV jacket that was white and I had one that was yellow, and Cami like didn't want to wear hers at all. The reason is because if you sweat, it gets like bad. So yeah, but so we go to this place. We don't find any parasol really. It's like not worth it. And so now it's time for Cami's section of the day, where we are in Uji and it is time for matcha purchasing. This is the most boyfriend I'll ever be. I am, throughout this day, for this day, my job is to purchase matcha for my girlfriend and to carry matcha for my girlfriend and to keep her as happy as I can. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my only responsibility, is to make Cami happy. This is a very like cool, unique, fun moment for her, and so I just need to do everything I can to make her happy, right? So we go into the first matcha place, and it's like really cute. It like has a big sliding door. Everything is really cute where it is, and the ladies are like explaining the differences in certain matchas to us. Like, their prices change with like the quality of their matcha, and they have like a chart that shows like what matchas kind of taste like what, blah blah blah. And so we got Cami like one really fancy one and then one that was not really fancy. And so that was like fun, we get the matcha. We can do tax free because it's like expensive enough, because we bought enough of it. And also, like, her like expensive matcha came with some sencha, which is like, less serious basically. And so that was cool, and we keep going, and we go to a more like, it like felt like we were at a cafe in LA in this next place we went to. Basically the way you can imagine this, guys, I realized I didn't really explain it, I just have it in my head, is like, we are walking down this street, and this street is just we're walking down this street, and the street is like, on the left and the right, it's just matcha stores. Like, it's all matcha basically, because it's just, this is what Uji does. It's a tourist place because of matcha. And so some of the places are more touristy and like, you know, like kind of overpriced, and some places are like legit. And the only thing we have to guide us is our will. And so we are like, goodness gracious, sorry guys, I keep yawning. We are walking from store to store. This next one we go to is like it feels like a LA cafe. And when we're in here, there are two other girls speaking English, like very clearly from America. And this girl is talking about some insane stuff. Like, I don't remember exactly what she said, but she was talking about like a boyfriend and like weird like sexual relations and like weird sex stuff and like cheating, and like it was just very crass, very open, and very like insane. And I don't know if she just felt comfortable because like most people couldn't understand her when she was talking about stuff like that in Japan. But like Cami and I were there. It's not a large place. It was like very obvious that we could listen to everything they were saying. And so like this girl was just crazy. Like I don't know what was up. But we bought matcha for Corey there, Cami's little sister, because, excuse me, I yawned again. It felt like a step up. It felt like a step up from the stuff we got at Ginza Loft. And so that was like fun. The next place we went to was, I don't remember the exact order of which of these we did in a row, but we also went to another matcha place. This was the only one that Cami like knew about beforehand, as far as I know. And we find out that it is extremely touristy. All their matcha is like triple the cost of everywhere else. It's not bigger, and like the quality can't be that much better, because a lot of what determines how good matcha is like, you know, to some degree the quality matters, but a lot of it is just when it was harvested. And so a lot of the matcha we've been buying was just harvested because of the time that we're going. And so charging this much more for this matcha just doesn't make sense. Like it isn't a good deal. It just doesn't, it's not, you know, the math doesn't exactly work out, is what we're trying to say here. So it seems like this is not a good deal, and we're just done. So we leave because they don't really have anything we want there. And Cami's like, man, I can't believe that, like, I can't believe all these places that I found were all so touristy. And it's like just kind of funny, but you know, that's how it goes. And so we go to another place where it's run by an old man. And this old man, he's like, I have organic matcha. I'm the only person selling organic matcha, like, here. I'm the only person. And we're like, okay, that's cool. We'll do it. And we kind of acknowledge that organic probably, like, it doesn't really mean anything. And because of that, we're probably getting conned. But also, it's, like, not expensive. Like, it was a good deal for the amount of matcha we got. So, like, no matter what, even if it's just a stupid advertising tactic, it can't be a bad deal. And we bought one for us, and I was talking with the guy my best Japanese, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, wow, your Japanese is good. And I was like, yes, thank you, old man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's so awesome. And he was like, oh, where are you from? We were like, oh, California. And he was like, oh, I love California. I have visited Los Angeles. I have visited Bakersfield. I have visited Las Vegas also. So I love America. And we were like, what the heck? Why have you visited Bakersfield? But we left, and that was super fun. And, you know, I had a really good time. And we got like a cool little organic matcha. It was like a super cool tin. Cami is actually, she's reusing the tin for stuff still. But it's super fun. And we, I'm yawning. And we, oh my god, sorry. My legs are so unhappy. They're so unhappy. I really didn't envision them feeling like this. But I also didn't envision this drive being this long. How long does it say is left now? Oh good, an hour. Oh good, an hour is left. Oh good. Oh good. I suppose that means it hasn't like increased in time since it said an hour and a half though, right? So maybe it actually will just be an hour. So yeah, we saw the old man. We go into, I don't remember the exact order of these shops, but we went into a grocery store and we were like, well, maybe we can find something cheap in this grocery store to eat. And we didn't really find anything we super wanted. We did find ochazuke, which is just like, it's basically just like you put this stuff on top of rice and then you put green tea on it, and that's breakfast. And I was like, I don't think we're gonna get this, but I'll keep my peepers peeled for it when I'm in Little Tokyo. And I actually just bought some like 2 weeks ago for the first time. And so I have all this green tea in my car that it's really old, so I don't know if it still will like be yummy. But I want to make some with Cami today, and we'll see what's up. But we're gonna make some green tea, and then I'll know if I wanna goodness gracious. Then I'll know if I want to use that for the ochazuke or if I want to use some of Cami's sencha, because sencha like makes sense to use. Sencha makes sense to use, so that sounds fun. But whatever, we don't really find anything in the grocery store, except I'm like, oh dude, they got soda. I need this. I just wanted to have a yummy treat so freaking bad. I wanted a drink so bad. I had been craving juice. And so, because like at some point, like I think it was on the Shinkansen from Kyoto to Uji, but it may have been the one from, it may have actually been the one from Tokyo to Fuji. Wait, okay, I don't remember what I just said. It may have been, I think it's the one from Tokyo to Fuji, but it may have been the one from Fuji to Kyoto. But Cami got this like delectable little lemonade tea. So freaking good. And like since then I've been like, man, I really want a juice. And so I've been like kind of passively looking for juice, but unsuccessfully, because like, you know, you look at the juice and it's like, oh, we actually snuck some fish in here, because like they don't have to report whether or not they add fish, because fish isn't like a common allergen in Japan. And then also like the sugars and whatnot. So like you just don't know if it's vegan or not. So it's a little difficult. But if I'm just like passively looking. So I was like, oh my god, they got these two sodas. I got a grape soda and a melon soda. And you know, you're not really supposed to walk around and drink something in the same way that you're not supposed to walk around and eat something. So I got these two sodas and I pounded them both outside. They were both terrible, but I drank them really fast. And then we went into Daiso. In Daiso, we got a Hongyodan blind pouch, like you don't know which one you're gonna get, little silicone keychain. And that was so fun. We were like, yay, a Hongyodan thing. Put it in the bag, and I'm just carrying like infinite matcha, you know what I'm saying? And then so we start heading back. We're gonna go all the way back down the road the way we came, and we stop at the very beginning of the road, like where we were before. Oh, actually before this, sorry, I totally forgot about this, but we walked around a little bit just to like see what was up, and we found like there's a second train station in Uji. And so that was like fun to see because we saw like a ton of school kids. That was another thing that I thought was kind of fun, is like just seeing people like living their life, because it felt like like when you would see people living their life instead of only seeing a bunch of other tourist people, it just made it kind of feel like you were actually visiting a different place, as opposed to just visiting like a museum or a little Tokyo or like a fun spot. So it was really fun getting to see like elementary school kids with their backpacks, or like small groups of like high school or middle school kids like riding on bikes together and hanging out, or like a huge flow of people like going into train stations. Or like when we were on the train stations, it was really fun to see people who were like adolescent aged reading manga, because I was like, man, like, yeah, if I had really good trains, I would be reading manga on these friggin' trains on the way to like school and stuff. Like, that's what I would be doing, you know? I'm reading manga on the trains right now. Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm just reading One Piece while I'm on the train. So it would be really nice if I always got to do that. And when I saw other people doing that, it was like, okay, yeah, cool. Like, this feels like fun. Like, this is like what the train allows for. I don't know, it was just fun for me. And so, yeah, as you know, we saw the train, we go back to the road we came on. We go back into the first store where the ladies had explained everything to us about like the different kinds of matcha that they sell. And we bought more matcha there, and we bought chasen, which is like the little matcha spoon. I totally forgot to say this, sorry. We went back to the old man's store as well, and we bought a second one. And I was like buying a gift for my friend, and he was like, okay. And then I got a second one. We were originally saying that one was for Dusty and Maya because it was really cool. Like it was like organic and cool, and we bought it from an old man and blah blah blah. And then we were like when we got home, Cammie was like, I don't know. And so she took both the organic ones because they weren't as bright in color. So they weren't like as beautifully high quality. And you could say maybe that's because it's like organic, you know? And so it doesn't have like additives that make it more green or something. But you could also say it's because the old man is tricking us into buying old matcha that like was not from the most recent harvest. But Cammie saw that it wasn't as bright as another one that we had bought. And also she really liked the flavor of the one from the old man. So she kept both of those, and we ended up giving Dusty and Maya a different one that was probably a little bit higher quality. And I think we made the right choice there, especially because Cammie really liked the flavor of the like quote unquote organic one. Cool. Now it's my freaking turn. Now it's my turn, okay? We are going to a beautiful shrine that's in Uji, because it shows up technically a few times in the show, although it doesn't show up that much. We go and we check out this place. They're like, you know, it's gonna close in like an hour. And we're like, yeah, that's totally fine. We walk around for 30 minutes. It's chill. It's fun. And as we are leaving, it starts to rain. And we're like, uh-oh. So we get out our umbrellas. We're doing our best. I feel like it needs to be said, but just because I always wear my Crocs, I'm not wearing Crocs. I have my like tennis shoes on for this whole trip, because I care about my feet, and we did a lot of walking, and so our feet are like hurting at this point. But you know, we see the shrine. It's really beautiful. I have a ton of pictures. I have some beautiful pictures of Cammie just like looking at stuff, like some candids that she didn't know I was taking. And it was just really cool. They had like a shrine where you could walk up and like toss a coin in and pray, and like you had to wash your hands by like, you like get this like ladle type thing, and then you pour it on your hands. I don't know what it's actually called, but they had it there, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like I've seen this before, like in media, but I didn't, like I haven't seen one in person. So it was nice to see that, and it was also nice because it was like, oh good, we're actually seeing a shrine, you know? Like we're actually going and doing this thing that we're supposed to do if we go to Japan. And then we went to go to a bench. This bench was very important in Sound Euphonium. It's like Kumiko's favorite bench, the main character's favorite bench. Just like an emotionally important bench. And I went and sat on it, and there are a bunch of pictures of me on that bench. I love them very much. It was like very lightly sprinkling when we took the pictures, so Cammy really gave it her all for me, you know? And then at this point, Cammy is like dying. She is so exhausted. She like can barely freaking walk. She's like so dying. And I'm like, Cammy, you gotta eat something. And she's like, no, I think I'm just tired. And I'm like, you have to eat something. So we walk to a Starbucks that is right next to the shrine. So we walk back to the shrine, and it's basically on the way. And we go to the Starbucks. And the Starbucks has the last like vegan item that Cammy wanted to try, which is like a bolognese tortilla that's vegan. It's like a bolognese cheese tortilla thing that they heat up, and Cammy said that it was sweet, so she didn't like it because it was like way too sweet, but she at least ate something, and that was important. Eating and drinking water is very, very important for Cammy because it was hot. The rain was not helping. It was so humid and sticky. It was just like a really difficult kind of day. And now I'm like, this is our last thing, okay? This is our last thing. We have got to go to this little tiny shrine at the top of a hill. A hill is not a good description. A mountain is bad faith, but a mountain is the right word. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a big hiking trail. We went up, and it was very steep, so the trail zigzags back and forth. So this is a relatively long hike, and Cammy is like struggling, right? She's sweating so hard. She's so unhappy, so hot. We have to take breaks a bunch. And also the rain is happening, so like I'm holding so much matcha, and like the bags, we don't really like trust the handle on the bags anymore, especially because of the rain, but also just because there's so much matcha that it's heavy. And so we're like doing our best, but Cammy is really struggling. But we hike up this mountain, hike up, and you know, we have to stop several times. We take pictures of like the scenery and like us with like good, you know, good views. And then we finally make it up to the top, right? And like when I get here, like, you know, part of me is tired, part of me feels bad for Cammy, but the largest part of me is like total fangirl, you know? I'm like, oh my god, I'm actually at this like little place where the freaking scene between Kumiko and Reina happens. Like, I'm there. And so I take a bunch of like super embarrassing pictures that are like, oh look, it's like this is us in the show, like blah blah blah, like you're my special person, Cammy, I love you. And there was like a friendly Chinese man up at the top, and we were like, can you please take our picture? And he's like, yeah, of course. And so we have pictures taken by him. It was pretty dark because it's 8:50 p.m. Or I guess it's not 8:50 at this time, it's probably like 8:30. But it's like, it's late. We started this day at 8:30. Okay? We started the day at like 8 or 8:30. So, you know, like, we've been out for like 12 hours. And we find out that part of the reason why Cammy is so tired, not just because she hasn't eaten that much or that well, because we've just had tofu stick, one mochi, matcha. It's also because she's getting sick. She like felt that it was beginning and she was like tired, but her like real symptoms didn't start until the day we left. which was so lucky. But yeah, I mean, you know, that's what's up. So we are finally at the top of the mountain. We get our pictures taken by the friendly Chinese man. As we're walking down, we see like a bunch of more like Chinese men going up to the place. And I'm like, dude, literally everyone in Japan is Chinese. Like, this is crazy, you know? And then, yeah, so we get back to our hotel, finally check in. It's 8:50 p.m. It's 8:50 p.m. It's brutal. Oh, I remember there was like a stressful moment where we were kind of worried all day about like, are we actually like okay to leave our stuff for this long and then check in so late? Because we had originally said that we would only be gone for like an hour or two, and they said, oh, take your time, like come back whenever you want. And I was like, well, what if it's a problem? And so it like almost definitely wasn't gonna be, but like there was a chance that it was gonna be a problem. And so we were a little worried, but it was fine. And so yeah, we're back at like 8:50. Everything works out, but we're so tired. I guess before that I should say, you know, walking through the town, like on some more like what do I call, on like residential roads. We're like walking on residential roads. We saw a manhole cover that was like Pokemon themed. There was a Pikachu there was a Pikachu vending machine, like a Pikachu looking vending machine, and I was like, oh dude, I gotta do Pokemon Go so I can send my dad Pokemon Go gifts from Japan. And so that was fun. I sent him those because at the time he was playing a lot of Pokemon Go. And so I was like, sorry Cammy, give me a minute. And she was like so exhausted. She was like, I just have to go sit down at the train station. Excuse me with all my yawns. I'm freaking tired. I had a sleepover yesterday. It's like, this is probably the best I've ever slept at a sleepover at someone else's house. But I've also just generally been tired. So, you know, I'm excited for the ball drop at 9. And Cammy and I are probably just gonna like chill out and have fun for the rest of the night after that. Like, you know, probably just gonna hang out, chill. We're gonna make some Thai tea chia seed pudding that Dusty will have when she is here on the 1st. And Basil may too, if Basil's here. So, we will see. But yeah, we make it back to the train station after all that. Go back, get to the hotel at 8:50. We're like, we need dinner. Where do we go? And we had kind of decided that one day we would go get ramen, but we didn't want to do it today because it had been such a long day and it was so hot. So we went to this place. You may have heard of it. It's called Kura Sushi. They've got them all over America because Kura Sushi in America apparently has a bunch of vegan stuff. In Japan, it's basically just inari. It was brutal. The inari was so sweet. And eating just sweet tofu rice, like, at this point, when we've been struggling for this long, we were just miserable. We were miserable. Oh, also, I forgot to say, before we left to go get dinner, we opened the Hangyodon pouch, the blind box Hangyodon pouch. And, excuse me, we went to open the blind box Hangyodon pouch and we got the only bad one. We got the purple one. The purple one was so ugly. I would have been happy with literally any of them except one. And that's why I was like cool with Cammy getting it for me. Also at Daiso, I'm pretty sure Cammy got her roommate's socks. I think she got her roommate's socks there. But I don't have a note about that, so I'm not 100% sure if that's true. But yeah, we got the ugliest one. We took funny videos to like show Dusty and Maya. And then we go to Kura Sushi, right? We go to Kura Sushi, we get there, and there must be no seats in the whole freaking place. Because, we left at like 9-ish. Because we left to go get dinner after we got back and like chilled out for a minute, right? But like we get there and then imagine it took like 20 minutes to transit. Like at the absolute latest we got there at like 9:40, but I'm pretty sure we got there at like 9:20 or earlier. Like I'm pretty confident that we got there like relatively early, like 9:20 or something. We don't get seated until 10 p.m. It was like an unbelievable wait for Kura Sushi. We finally sit down. It's 10 p.m. We've been up and doing stuff actively for 14 hours. And they have like just inari. It's basically just inari. They don't have like an avocado roll or anything because like that's very Californian. And like not real. So it's like have fun with your inari, and technically you can get like these little mochi bites that are like whatever. So like for food, it's just eat the inari as best you can. And we're struggling. I'm dying. I don't like inari. Cammy does at least, but I don't like it. I think it's like all sweet, not that good, not a big fan. But here's the deal. It's like a revolving sushi place where you order stuff and it appears, right? What's pretty awesome is that you can turn in your plates in like the little thing, like you put your plates in the whatever, and every 5 plates you get a gacha roll. Every 5 plates you get a gacha roll. And like that, the gacha roll while we were there was for a Chikawa toy, and we were like, OM freaking G, we have to get the Chikawa toy. I mean, not really, because it's like, who cares? And we like didn't have the capacity to want anything at that point. Like we just had the capacity to be dying, we just had the capacity to feel pain, not the capacity to like want something beautiful for ourselves. And so we turned in our first 5 plates. It plays a little video, we lose, and we're like, whatever. And we're like fine not getting anything, right? If we really wanted something, one of the things you can do is pay 1 extra cent, basically, like 1 extra cent per plate. If you choose the 1 extra cent per plate mode, you guarantee that on 3 gacha rolls, you will win. Like if you don't win on the first 2, the third one will be a win, right? That means 15 plates. 15 plates of inari is not real. That's not real. So God, and it was like expensive compared to everything else we ate. It's just such a miserable experience. Such a horrible experience at Kura Sushi. But, we were like dying, and so having an experience like that where it like sucked was so funny. Like even in the moment it was funny. And so it was like, it was funny, and that made it good. So this like only adds to my day for me. Like for me, we went to Uji and like went and saw all the coolest things in the whole world. We hiked up the cliff thing, or hiked up the mountain and got to see that. And like we're going to the K-On! School, and the K-On! School is really cool, but also there isn't like one specific place that's like a very emotionally charged location in K-On! Because they're just at the school all the time, if that makes sense. Like there are emotional scenes and like whatnot, but like they have their club room, and so I won't think of their club room as the place where they like cried, I'll think of it as like their club room, right? So because of that, like going to this emotionally charged like location in Uji, where it was like at this super emotional place at the top of the mountain, was like the most amazing thing in the world for me. And Cami was struggling so much that the fact she did it for me really like, it was truly unbelievable. Like, I can't describe how happy I was, and still am thinking about it. Like, I could cry. It's so sweet. Like, she gives so much for me, and she was so tired, so struggling, and she never was like, let's stop. Like, she was like, no, I can do it. Like, I can do it. This matters so much to you, you know? And so, like, I just really, this is like, out of all the things in my life, this is like the most Cami showed me how much she loved me moment, you know? And it's just like the most amazing, it was my favorite day of the trip because of that. And so when we are like dying in Kura Sushi, it's so funny because like, it's not Cami's sickness that's killing her anymore. We're both so exhausted. We're both just like dead. All Inari. We get the 10 plates in and we're recording. And we're like, whoa, let's check it out. And we win. We freaking win. We got Chikawa magnets. We were like, oh my God, yes! Yes! But we don't have any energy to celebrate. So we look at who we get. Who do we get? We get Shisa and Kurimanju. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? We got Shisa and Kurimanju. Cami was like, oh, we can give Kurimanju to Maya. And I was like, no, we can't. We earned these freaking magnets at the end of a brutal day. These are my magnets. Ain't nobody getting them. And then we noticed that like one of them is kind of peeling. Like the sticker part is peeling off of the magnet part. So they're just so terrible. But as we're leaving, this Singaporean guy walks up and he's like, would you like to trade? Because he heard that we had Kurimanju and he had Hachiwari and Rocco. And that's like low-key the best one, you know? I think the Chikawa and Pochette Yoroi-san is better, but whatever. Point is, it's like two little magnets. We traded with the Singaporean guy. We traded with the Singaporean guy, and he was like, he wanted Kurimanju, and we wanted Hachiwari, so everything worked out. Everything was good. All's well that ends well is what I say. Except for that it didn't end well because we were freaking exhausted. Also, I felt bad because he took like the peely one, you know, but whatever. I mean, you could just like super glue it. It like wasn't a big deal, you know, and they were terrible magnets anyways. It was just like cute. And I think that trading them like kind of added to the experience because it's like so fun to trade blind boxes with someone, especially like it's a stranger. Like, what? That's cool, you know? So we're so hungry on the way back because all they had was Inari, and it was making me feel sick because it was so sweet. It was so sweet. I was like dying, you know? And so we stop at 7-Eleven, and I'm like, dude, what am I even gonna get? I think I'm just gonna get a big bag of chips. And so I get a big bag of chips at 7-Eleven, and I go home, and Cami showers, and while Cami showers, I eat the whole bag of chips. And they were whatever. They were so whatever. They were like the most who cares chips in the whole world. But I needed them with desperation. And, you know, that brings to a close my personal favorite day of the trip. My personal favorite day of the trip. So, that was really wonderful. That was great. Sorry, I was just zoning out for a second. I was like looking at the car in front of me and just like thinking about whatever. But oh my god, my leg. So yeah, I guess how much time is left in my drive? Oh, I have another half an hour. Well, let me tell you what, I don't have another half an hour of notes to go over, I don't think. So here's what I'll do. I'll tell you about the beginning of the next day. So the next day, we wake up and, you know what? No, I won't. No, I won't. Because there's so much on the next day, and it's like the last full day of our trip. Sorry to leave you hanging on that cliff, Penguins, but it's like the last full day of our trip. So I want to make sure I have all my facts down. I want to make sure I have my facts correct. Because, you know, like, I only have one last day, and I'm not even confident about the beginning notes. Like, I've been telling you guys about what we ate every day, and I don't have any notes about what we ate. So I want to go make sure with Cammie that we actually did do what we thought we did on that day. Because I'm pretty sure, like, the first thing we did was try to go to a cafe, and it was closed. And then we were like, God, what are we even gonna do? And then we went to Family Mart and ate hash browns. But I'm like not 100% sure that that's actually what happened. So I want to check with Cammie before I make any promises. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I guess instead what I'll do is I'll just talk about Pikmin. Wait, is there anything else I should talk about like this trip that Dusty has been here on? Yeah, so Dusty was here, and Cammie knows about this little like apple orchard because she went there with her roommate Allie and Lois, and they all went together and had like a really good time. So she was like, oh, we should take Dusty there. We do take Dusty there. I've never been. I didn't know it existed. And let me tell you, it's a wonderful place. We bought apple cider. The apple cider is so freaking yummy. All the apple samples we tried were so good. They like restored my enjoyment of apples. Like I don't love apples because they're just like a little grainy, and I don't like the way that the skin feels when I'm chewing it, and the flavor is like good but not good enough for me to like push through those like textural complaints. Does that make sense? But these apples at the freaking place where I'm testing the apples are like, dude, I used to eat apples that tasted like this, and I haven't in forever, and that's why I used to like apples and I don't anymore. It's because there are good apples that I just like am not eating. Like I just have to eat a different kind of apple. And they were all so good, and it was really awesome. The area we went to normally charges $5 to enter, but they didn't because there was so much rain that not everybody had their shops open. And because not all the shops were open, it was free to enter. And so that was awesome. We didn't even know until we heard like some friendly people talking to us about it. There was like a candle store. There's a store where you could buy these cute little bears. It was awesome. It was great. So, yeah. Sorry, I got distracted because the problem is that like the rain is beautiful on my windshield. And so I'm like driving, and I can do like two things, you know what I'm saying? Like I can talk and drive, or I can think about how the rain is pretty and drive. And I was thinking about the rain is pretty for a second. But yeah, that's like the other cool thing we did. We ordered it from the Asian grocery store thing. And that was awesome because it was like so fun to show Dusty like, oh look, this is like our cool shipment. And like, you know, honestly, I thought she would be more interested, but I think this is just maybe something that I really like, and that other people think is just like normal. So, you know, whatever. But yeah, so that's basically what happened. other than that, like, Dusty watched a few episodes of Haruhi with me, which really made my day. I was like so excited I was gonna cry, because like Haruhi is the kind of show that I really want to watch with my friends, but it's very hard to do because it's not an easy recommendation. You know, like, I really love it because I think there's such a wealth of stuff to talk about. Like, so much is not explained. Like, so much is left up to interpretation. You could like consider it almost a mystery, right? Like, but I mean, it's like not a mystery literally at all, but like, it's like a slice of life fun show, but there's so much to think about in it that you can like treat certain parts of it like a mystery and like really like sink your teeth in. And so I really love it for that. And also just for like the history. I think it's cool that Haruhi like inspired so much, changed the anime world in the way that it did. So it's like really fun, and I want to share it, and I love it to death, but it's not an easy recommendation by any means. So it was really nice to watch some episodes with Dusty. I feel like, you know, maybe in the future I'll be like, hey, can we like get together and watch another episode like online or something? Like, that would be really nice. I would like that a lot. And you know, that could just like, I don't know. I just want to keep watching it. I don't want to like squander this opportunity. Like, we've started to watch it. I want to continue. You know what I'm saying? I want to continue, so that's all. And if you're listening to this, Maya, I hope that I have been watching Haruhi with Dusty since I've spoken about this. But yeah. Like, it shouldn't be too difficult, because you can just like get the watch together thing and then whatever. Sorry, I don't have to think about the logistics of this. It's so simple. But yeah, so what was I? Oh, right, I was just going to talk about Pikmin. So, Dusty and I play Pikmin a lot. The first game we played was Pikmin 3. Then we played Pikmin 1, then 2, then 4. That's all the Pikmin games. So, we just finished Pikmin 4 the last time I spent a ton of time with her, right? And so we were like, well, I guess we're out of Pikmin, that's so sad. But I really like, I like Nintendo game modding. Like, not doing it, but like I like looking at mods for Nintendo games, because a lot of them are done with just like such a wealth of passion and love for the game that they end up being like really, really amazing projects. Pikmin 2 has several mods that are of extremely high quality. The probably best, highest quality mod is Pikmin Squared. I briefly mentioned this at the beginning of the episode. Pikmin Squared is basically a mod for Pikmin 2 that recreates all of Pikmin 1. You might think, what are you talking about? That makes no sense. But the Pikmin 1 AI is really jank. And some of the physics on certain objects also really jank. And Pikmin will just do stuff that doesn't make sense. So, it's like an insane quality of life upgrade. Like, insane quality of life upgrade to play all of Pikmin 1 in Pikmin 2's engine. This took the modder, Pighacker, 4 years to create. And you might think, what? Why would it take that long? And the answer is because it's not just recreating Pikmin 1. It's, oh my god, everyone is so stopped. But only in my lane. Everyone is so stopped, but only in my lane. It got a little spooky there for a moment. I'm glad nobody hit anybody there, because it definitely could have happened quite easily. sorry guys, I got lost in the sauce. I was thinking about, like, if you hit someone and it's raining this hard, like, what do you do? Like, do you pull over and then talk it out, like, in the heavy rain? Or, like, do you, like, get off the highway and go to a gas station? But then how do you communicate with the person that you're going to the gas station and not just, like, leaving? Whatever. Doesn't matter. My throat is dry from doing all this talking, man. Also just because it's been dry lately, which is funny because it's also, like, rainy, but it's been so dry recently. What am I saying? Oh, right. So you might think, why did it take 4 years? And the answer is, they didn't just create Pikmin 1. They also added a whole new game called Louie's Quest. In Louie's Quest, they reuse all the Pikmin 1 levels, but they add different stuff around them. They change where water is, they change where walls are, they change what Pikmin you have when, and they change, like, which objects are where. And they even added in some extra stuff. There are, like, unused areas in the Distant Spring, I think is what it's called. And those unused areas are opened up in Louie's Quest. Like, they're made accessible. And they added in a bunch of stuff there. And there are 3 enemies that are completely unique to the game. One of them is just, like, a seemingly indestructible enemy that you have to fight with bombs, or just, like, avoid. One of them is, like, a homing variant of the armored cannon beetle. And one of them is the final boss. And so, they also, on top of making this whole game and remaking all of Pikmin 1, made a randomizer where you can, like, randomize enemies with other enemies. You can randomize, like, everything, basically. And they added, like, purples and whites for the randomizer, even though it's, like, in Pikmin 1, basically. So it's so cool, man. It's such a cool, expansive, really awesome Pikmin mod. And it, like, does a better job of remaking Pikmin 1 than, like, the official Nintendo remake of Pikmin 1. Which is just, like, you know, amazing. So, on the first day that Dusty was hanging out, we started and finished all of Pikmin 1. Originally, I was just like, let's play Louie's Quest. Oh, I totally forgot about this. But before that, we actually played a different mod, also by Pickhacker, where it's like, you just go through caves. It's, like, called the Endless Abyss. You just go through, like, infinite cave levels. And you can play as a Pikmin. So Dusty and I played as 2 Pikmin. Like, each of us was 1 Pikmin. And we had to, like, run around and try to beat the levels. And that was pretty fun. The second day she was over... The second day she was over, we played all of Pikmin 1. And we were able to do that because of multiplayer. So, you know, like, it just sped everything up when we could go to different areas and do different things. Or, like, if we were fighting an enemy, we would be throwing Pikmin on twice as fast because there were 2 of us. So, it was just, like, super fast with 2 people. And because of that, we beat Pikmin 1 in 1 real-life day. Which was really awesome. And we didn't even do that well. Like, every day felt a little bad. Every day felt like a blowhawk day. But when you looked at the whole, we finished fast, you know? So, the next day we played Louie's Quest. And we played that single player instead of multiplayer. Because it was, like, an all-new game. So I wanted to see it all, and I also wanted to, like, feel the difficulty, you know? And it was hard. It was a lot harder than the normal Pikmin 1. I really enjoyed that. But, you know, so that was fun. And it was just a super, super awesome experience. I loved Louie's Quest. Spoilers for Louie's Quest. Skip ahead 1 minute exactly. You know, I'll be back at 1 minute. So yeah, basically the like final boss for this game was like a rabbit, and it was really fun theming because Louis had lost all his like golden pick carrots, and that was the plot. Is like, oh, I have to get back the golden pick carrots that I was supposed to deliver, and then it turns out that a rabbit had knocked them out of the sky off of Louis's ship, and so that rabbit was like the final boss, and you fight him by like destroying carrots that he picks up. Like, he grows carrots and then he picks them up and he throws them, and they're like elemental, and so you have to like beat the Pikmin carrots, blah blah blah, and he slams Pikmin into the floor, so he doesn't kill them, but it's like difficult, you know, and blah blah blah. Welcome back, you fellows who didn't want to get spoiled. Also because, you know, like in Pikmin 1, they in Pikmin 1, they have the Smoky Prog, who is like a terrifying, evil optional boss. And he also is optional in, sorry, I'm turning on the defroster. So if it gets loud, I apologize, but it probably won't be. They also have the Smoky Prog as an optional boss in Louie's Quest, but I think it's done way better. I think it's done way better in Louie's Quest because I think it's done way better in Louie's Quest because the Smoky Prog like actually gives you something for beating him, you know? Although he remains optional. So very, very cool. Very, very cool. I liked it a lot. My only complaints were that they don't give you the map very early, which is like on one hand a fun challenge, but on the other hand, like there were 2 ship parts that were quite difficult to find if you didn't have the map, because one of them was in a hidden area that was normally blocked off, like in the actual Pikmin 1 level, this area of the map is like inaccessible, but in Louie's Quest it is not inaccessible. So I like didn't know to look there. And then there's another one that's just like a sneaky hidden one. Literally, I have no idea how you would ever find it if you didn't have the map. So them not giving you the map early or mandatorily is like a little bit annoying, because like the map was one of the last items I found. I could have found it a little earlier. And I do like that they make you play each level the first time through with no map. I think that's fun. I think it's a good challenge, especially because they know that you're good enough to have just beaten Pikmin 1. So they like can up the challenge a little, but it's a little unfortunate that there are 2 pieces that are really hard to find without the map, and you could very, very feasibly go to those places before having found the map, you know, like I did. We ended up actually looking up a walkthrough because I was like, dude, am I crazy? Like, there's nothing else to find. So I watched a guy beating the game like relatively fast, and he like unlocked the thing. He like found the part, and I was like, oh, that's stupid. So then I went and got it, you know, like I just didn't have the map. So it would have just been a wasted day of Pikmin where like I just couldn't finish, and I had to end the day for no reason until I find the map, you know? because I would not have found it without the map. I just wouldn't have. So, yeah. But they had a lot of really cool puzzles. They had enemies from other things that were not used. So, like, they had an unused version of the, God, what's his name? The beady long legs. There was, like, a flat head smasher version of him that was an unused enemy from Pikmin 3 that was imported into the game. That was a cool boss fight, although it was a brutal one. There was like the refresh of the armored cannon beetle was very unique. I think that he was done poorly, in all honesty. He has like a vulnerable spot or whatever, and it's just too small. It's just too small. It like makes it too frustrating, to be honest. It was like more frustrating than it was difficult. And I can see the final boss being really hard without a specific thing. Like there's an optional thing that you can grab that like makes the final boss like so much more manageable. And otherwise I can see the final boss being really annoying, to be honest. So, not impossible, but very difficult in an annoying way. I definitely think it's possible, but just like hard and frustrating. So, yeah, I mean, those are my complaints, but all in all, fantastic game. Like one of the best Pikmin games. Like, I like it more than 4 by quite a bit. Because I think Pikmin 4 is kind of like, it's just not Pikmin, man. Like, it's just not Pikmin. Because you have Ochi. Like, there's no reason for your Pikmin to die when you have Ochi. There's just no reason. Because they can all sit on top of him. But that was my experience with Louis' Quest and Pikmin 1. It was super, 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 super fun. I had a wonderful time. I had a wonderful time sharing it with my good pal Dusty. And it was good because Cammie has been really tired. So she has gotten a lot of time to relax and not hang out with us. You know? Which, you know, like, it means that we don't have to feel bad about just playing Pikmin for hours and hours. But also that Cammie can relax. It does mean that I haven't spent as much time with Cammie as I would have liked during my break, but I have spent a lot of time with her, and I can't wait to go spend time with her in hopefully 10 minutes. But yeah, so next time I play Pikmin with Dusty, I think we'll do the Pikmin squared randomizer. But after that, there's Pikmin 2 Regrown. Pikmin 2 Regrown is a mod for Pikmin 2 that is basically just like a quality of life. It adds some new caves, it adds some other stuff, but all in all, it's just like a good version of Pikmin 2, which I am all for. Let me tell you, Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2 are definitely my 2 favorites, like more than Pikmin 3. I just like the feel of them more. That being said, it's been a long time since I played Pikmin 3, so I should play it again before I say that with such confidence. But I'm pretty sure that Pikmin 1 and 2 are my favorite games. It's hard to pick between them. I think as of right now, I would pick Pikmin 1 because of it's just like a very contained, good video game, as opposed to Pikmin 2, where there's like a lot more length to it. Like, it's a lot longer of a game, but it doesn't have as like nice, clean cut play sessions. Like with Pikmin 1, you just do a day and that's all you can do. But with Pikmin 2, the caves make it such that like some of your days will be like 12 minutes long, like the normal Pikmin day length, and some of your days will be like an hour long, because you made it to one cave, you made it to the next cave, and then right before the day ended, you made it to the third cave, you know? And then you just get to do the whole cave in that one day. So, you know, I think I like Pikmin 1 more, but it's a personal preference thing for sure. I don't think it's a better game by any means. And also, I'm privileged to even be able to say I like Pikmin 1 more, because Pikmin Squared is out, and I get to play Pikmin 1 without all my Pikmin being stupid, and without, like, glitchy messes happening, you know? That's not to say that Pikmin 1 is unplayable as it is, but it is to say that there's basically no reason to play Pikmin 1 on the GameCube anymore. Like, you should be playing Pikmin Squared instead of Pikmin 1. And you could also play it on the Wii, if you like the Wii control scheme. Technically, you could play it on the Switch, like if you want it portable, I guess, but... So, you know, there are like a bunch of different versions of Pikmin 1, they're all good. But the original GameCube release just gets outclassed by the Pikmin Squared remake. And frankly, so does the Nintendo remake get outclassed, but it's fine. We just had Christmas happen. Christmas was really fun. I received the board game Wilmot's Warehouse, which is like fantastic. If you look up Wilmot's Warehouse, and it seems like up your alley, well, I guess I'll just kind of explain it in brief. Like, you have to, there's like a blank grid of like 6x6 or something. Or maybe it's 7x7 because it's days of the week. Or maybe it's 5x5 because it's Monday through Friday and then you don't work the weekends. But basically there's like a grid, and you like pick a tile up, and then you look at it and you have to place it down on the grid and then remember where it is at the end of the game. At the end of the game, you have to remember where everything is and go as fast as you can and match everything up. So it's like a super, super fun game. If that sounds, and like the joy of it is that you're all working together, and so you're kind of making a story, right? Because each piece, like, is a little abstract enough that you can kind of decide that it's a million different things, you know? And so you can decide, like, oh, this is like a house, or actually it's like a hijab, or actually it's like a mountain, you know? Like, it's all like just abstract enough that like there's not one thing it's supposed to be. And so you can make like a little story that connects all the pieces. And then there's like another layer added on top where there are like extra challenges that you do that make it a little more difficult or a little whatever. But that's like the core of the game. And if that sounds fun to you, then this game will be fun to you. I like heard about this game. I like watched some stuff about it, like some reviews, saw what people were saying about it because it looked really cute and I was interested, especially because I think it started as like a video game that doesn't play anything like it. Like, I think there's a Wilmot's Warehouse video game. I don't remember it being like a memory video game either. Although maybe it is, and I just don't remember what it is at all. But, you know, so I was just like kind of interested in it. I was like, oh, like this is cool. Like, why don't I see what this is about? And it sounded like the most fun thing in the whole world. So I got it and I played it with my parents, and it was just as fun as as it seemed it would be, which I feel like is rare. I feel like things often are like a really good idea, but they just like, the execution is like slightly off, or like there's something that you wouldn't consider. Like one of the rules makes it so that like one strategy is a little too strong or a little too weak, or like one of your options doesn't feel as good as the other options, so you don't end up doing it as much. Or like because you're playing against other people, you just like, what you want to do is like this cool option that does a cool thing, but what you end up having to do is something else because you are playing against other people. and you can't fall so far behind, even though what you want to do is one thing. So I feel like that's like a common experience with board games and just games in general, but I didn't have that experience with Wilmot's Warehouse at all. Wilmot's Warehouse was just fun through and through. Like, it was just great. So I was really pleased with that. I also received a freaking new rice cooker bowl, epic. I received a new water bottle, epic. And yeah, it was just really fun. I had a good time at Christmas. I had a wonderful day. It was good to see my grandparents. They're really sweet. And yeah, it's just, I love, like, this has been such a good holiday break for me, because I've spent so much time with Dusty. I've relaxed so much. I've played Pikmin. I've watched a little bit of Haruhi and shared that, and like, maybe I'll be able to keep it going. I've been like having fun reading manga, although, there are certainly things that I would enjoy more than One Piece. Like One Piece is very good, yes, but like there are other things I like more. But I've just been having a really good time, and I don't feel any guilt about what I've been doing. Like, just been such a good break. And now I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna flop down on the bed because I'm so freaking tired. And then Cammy will be done working in like 10 minutes, and she'll probably flop down on the bed next to me. And like during this drive, even I received texts from Dusty that I couldn't really read them, because I'm driving. But a text popped up while I was looking at my directions, and it was like, hey, like, thanks for coming to the sleepover, like, blah blah blah, I had fun. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet. It's really nice that we're literally gonna see each other tomorrow. Like, she's gonna come spend the night and then get picked up the day after. But like, despite that, she still is like sending me like really nice like goodbye type of text. It's just very sweet. Dusty is like such a sentimental person, and she didn't always express it that way. But I'm a very sentimental person as well, so it's really, really nice to be appreciated like that. So that's pretty fire. It's pretty fire. But yeah, I'm home. I made it, you guys. Going over a speed bump. Bagump, bagump. And man, I just like, yeah. Maybe I'll even play freaking Donkey Kong Bonanza today, Because I'm almost done with that video game. I'm in the last area of Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I would love to finish it. I would love to cross it off the backlog. Oh. And they friggin', yeah. Dude, the problem is, I've wanted to game so bad, and I haven't been able to game. Well, I mean, I've played a lot of Pikmin, and that was different, but, like, what I mean is I've been wanting to play FPS games, because I got so into it right before Dusty got here. I played so much freaking Valorant, and I was having a really good time, and then, after that, like, Kai went home, so he only had his laptop, he didn't have his PC, and that meant that we played Counter-Strike instead. I had so much fun playing Counter-Strike. So, I, like, had been fiending. I've been fiending to play, when I was unable, when I was, like, home for the holidays. So, I'm excited to get to game, to selfishly game. And also a new Rivals character comes out in like 7 days or something. Maybe it's 6 as of today, actually, I think. Or maybe not, I don't know. But there's a new Rivals character coming out really soon. And so I'm very excited. I can't wait to play. She's so cool. There will be a Bad Peg episode out about it in 2.5 years. Everybody, comment below your favorite Christmas gift. Everybody comment below your favorite Christmas gift. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Goodbye.